One of my earliest memories is from the age of 3 in my grandparents' house, where I was born and lived until I was 5. My beloved grandfather gave me a leaf of bitter lettuce that was wrapped around a filling of sugar. Acuérdate siempre que este es el sabor de la vida. It is the taste of life, bittersweet. This simple yet profound family custom came from the Sephardic Passover Seder. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. I'm a Sephardic Jewish of Portuguese Spanish origin and crypto-Jewish Marrano background on both my mother's and father's sides. I grew up in a very protective and well-educated family who taught me that the most important aspect in life was always to preserve the family. My mother's family was the first to leave Spain with the expulsion of the Jews in 1492. They left as infidels. They went to La Gomera in the Canary Islands. The Inquisition followed them there, and they eventually converted to Catholicism. By the time the first ancestors in my family arrived in the so-called New World during the early to mid-1500s, they were already conversos, or first-generation descendants of conversos. They were among the founders of the oldest colonial cities in Venezuela. Most of my father's family endured the Inquisition in Spain and Portugal as conversos. They settled in Venezuela by mid to end of the 1800s. For many years, my family never talked about our origin. They avoided the topic of Spain and never even mentioned Portugal. Each time I asked the question about why our family had left Spain, there would be an absolutely chilling silence. I remember my grandmother becoming very stern. "Why do you need to know?" she would ask. "Why do you ask about that so many times? You were born in Venezuela. You don't need to know about Spain. Just look forward." And the topic was changed. The secrecy of our origin thickened the air, and this instilled a deep curiosity in me. In that silence, I understood that something very wrong and difficult must have happened. The family always referred to their pride in their last names, the importance of education, and their noble origins. This deep pride in the family gave me the inner strength I have. What I could never understand was why the family had to leave if life was so good back in Spain. It simply did not make sense to me. Years went by, and eventually, as an adult, my father told me the truth about being descendants of Jews. Finally, the family began to share and talk about the fact that our ancestors had to convert to Catholicism. Life made sense at last. None of us, not my mother or my father, were ever confirmed as Catholics. One thing is the church, and another one is our spirituality, grandmother would say. When I asked why we did the things that we did, my mother and grandmother always gave me the same response. "This is the way we do things in our family. These are our family customs. This is the way my mother did it." After learning about our history, I felt compelled to return to Judaism and recover the heritage of my ancestors. It is a complex personal journey as well as a matter of family pride that we survive inside another culture and return to our original roots. One of the most important lessons in this process for me is that you can take a Jew out of a physical place by force, but you cannot take the Jew from inside the Jew. Eventually, we do come back.